What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so of course, yesterday we all learned that LeBron James is nothing more than a prankster at this point. You know, a troll artist who had many people, casuals, believing that he was going to announce that this might be his last season, since there's been pretty much a point of much speculation this offseason. So many purchased tickets that were heavily inflated, thinking that this was going to be his last season. I mean, matter of fact, many articles and people like myself thought that he may be making this announcement, right? Now, I want to say something like, I was wrong. Although I did think, there was a possibility he could be pulling some shit that he did. But I do notice that there's a lot of people who are like crapping on people like me and Dreamers Pro, calling us gullible. But at least we came out and said something. We're not Monday morning quarterbacking and saying something the day after when you could have said something that day. You could have uploaded a video saying everybody's wrong that day, but people didn't do that. It's easy to Monday morning quarterback, but it's another thing to put your neck on the line and take a risk when you're not totally sure about something. But anyway, let me go forward with this. So Stephen A. Smith today was talking about LeBron James, and he was going, I don't know, just talking about how LeBron is the second greatest player of all time, and I don't even understand this point why he keeps saying that. I mean, whatever. He can believe what he want to believe, but you're not getting no points in trying to show your objectivity when LeBron James did what he did to you and said what he said about you, whatever. But, he said that at this point in time, he thought that the whole situation was corny and silly and reminiscent of the decision, the first decision, which occurred back in, they said 2011 in the show, but in a segment, it was actually 2010. And, he talked about how, LeBron did run to Miami to win or whatever, right? But this is my thing, right? I think at this point in time, when you see the fact that he's not going to play any regular the preseason games, right? LeBron's not going to play any preseason games. His camp has already said that he's basically going to he's on self-preservation mode this year, right? So that tells me he's not going to go all out this year. What that tells me is LeBron's going to play in just enough games to qualify for awards, 65 games, barring injury, which he's going to avoid like the plague, which means don't expect LeBron James to extend himself on the defensive end of the court. So Stephen A. Smith talking about he don't want to be in OKC for a championship parade. He want to be in LA because during the bubble, they didn't really, that meaningless title, it was in Orlando and not in LA. He wants to be in sunny LA, which is so fucking annoying. Who gives a shit where you want to be? Like, who cares if you find demeaning to be in a small market city in the playoffs? Like, who are you? Like, you elitist bastard? Nobody cares. But this is my thing. Why can't these people see this dude who's trying to hold the NBA hostage, right? Why can't they force or pressure this nigga motherfucker to retire? I mean, so if you already don't like LeBron James, he don't like you, right? Sure, he can still put up numbers, but that's all he's doing at this stage of his career is putting up numbers. Okay? So at that point, what's the point of him still playing? Except for his own selfish, narcissistic reasons. And you could argue he's taking shine away from other great players who need to be getting more and more of the attention, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's the reigning MVP, who you're not talking about, but you rather talk about LeBron James. Because y'all had no problems pressuring Kobe Bryant to retire. Y'all had no problems doing that. Matter of fact, this is you right here. The day before Kobe announced his retirement.
37 with all of these obstacles joined in, colluding with one another to bring him down. It is a damn shame that Kobe has to go out this way, but it is over. There's nothing he can do, especially in the Western Conference, and his skills have diminished. What we're seeing is several pump fakes, barely able to get off the ground. I mean, that's what we're seeing right now. I don't blame him. I blame Father Time, and I blame the attrition instituted by the Los Angeles Lakers franchise, who, as far as I'm concerned, should be prosecuted for neglect. They neglected Kobe Bryant, left him to hang out and dry, and they have expedited the process of Kobe's demise because of what they have surrounded with and what they have failed to surround him with. It is a tragedy what they have done to him, but it is what it is, and because of it, we can't deny that he looks how he looks. I believe it is over. I believe Kobe Bryant should retire, and I'm going to go this far, Skip. I don't think he should wait. I doubt he'll do it, but I think Kobe should retire right now. Right
now, the very next day, Kobe put out a statement announcing his retirement. You don't think that what Stephen A. Smith said didn't factor a little bit into that? And it wasn't just him, it was the media. The media was calling for him to retire. I was calling for him to retire, honestly, because I thought that he was a complete shell of himself. And I didn't like people making all those jokes about him. And this was I'm a guy that hated Kobe. Right? So the media can keep pretending like the Lakers are a championship contender. They're not, because of LeBron James on that team. A 40-year-old has-been who, because of rule changes and because of the fact that he has been able to take care of his body and hasn't broken down to the extent that some other players have, he can still, because of his experience and because of his physicality, still be able to put up numbers. But the impact isn't there anymore. The impact isn't there anymore. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, in the games in which, per game, when he was on the floor, right, the minutes in which he's on the floor, the Lakers were outscored by 8 points every game when he was on the floor. The differential would be if he was off the floor and maybe somebody else like Luka, whatever, would come in, or AD earlier in the season. That would narrow the margin. But with LeBron on the floor, he was a deficiency, especially on the defensive end. You're not winning with him. So why can't they just say what all of us are thinking? Why can't they pressure this dude to lead the scene? Well, I know what part of it is. Part of it is that, unlike LeBron James, Kobe Bryant didn't have a media machine working on his behalf, excusing when he was losing, excusing when he was playing poorly, and blaming others for when the Lakers were not succeeding. I know that's a large part of it. So that means the media has been compromised. The media has been compromised greatly. And what we're seeing is not even real. And what they're saying, I should say, is not reality. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this, man. If these people really were to speak their minds, because you only really get to hear what people really think once they leave and start their own podcast, like Craig Hart. Like a Max Kellerman. and others, Marcellus Wiley. Once they leave that world of fake TV and have their own podcast, then you start hearing more of the truth. That's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.